Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Let's go. O, zajebiście.
New message is awaiting your attention.
Hey, König, Grosko here. I just received a set of fresh coordinates for you. 3 individuals, running a podcast, and that's an invite. How copy?
Yeah. Where the f*** are you?
It's Sunday, I'm in my kitchen, cooking dinner.
You said something about a kitchen. What kitchen?
It doesn't matter where I am.
What the f***? Go. Repeat.
My kitchen? Are you deaf? You walking around with your gear on, eh? Take it off. Listen, pull the trigger podcast. Okay? How copy?
You know, when Gromsko said he had coordinates, I expected something more dangerous. But apparently, today's mission is different. I guess I missed the point. Well, I am Jim Boeven. I am the voice of König. And today, I'm dropping into the Pull the Trigger podcast with Mr. Stubbins, Vigilante, and Nimbus. No combat gear required. Just good conversations. Coordinates received. Mission starts now, Grumsko.
Thank God for that. Over and out.
So, let's pull the trigger.
Let the chaos begin! Controllers clacking, mics are hot, gamers on deck, we talk a lot. Tech, Twitch streams and viral scenes, we're living the dream behind the screens. Gaming, streaming, chaos supreme, the crew that breaks your algorithmic dream. From pixels to madness, we light up your feed. It's Mr. Stubbins, Vigi, and Nimbus, yes indeed.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. All right. So let's get into this, right? So we'll start it off real simple. All right. It says, you were born in Germany and eventually built a career across both Europe and the United States. What first inspired you to pursue acting?
I have to rewind and go back to the very beginning because there was an incident. Mars knows about that. I was 4 years old, and my mom and the rest of the family, stupid siblings, they were all there. It was a family gathering, and I stood up and I said, I want to go to America. I want to be an actor. And everybody looked at my mom. What the fuck is wrong with him? Is that your kid?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
In heaven's name, did he ever think of that? How did it happen? So that was a story my mom told me when I was 15, because by the time I was 15, I developed this internal wish that I wanted to become an actor. And she said, you told me. I said, no, I'm telling you now. And she said, no, you told me when you were 4 years old. That's how I know the story, which is very weird. So I applied at 3 or 4, I don't even know, I can't recall, acting schools. One did not reply. One said, you're good, but you're not good enough. The other one said, we have too many applicants, come back in 3 years. And for me, that was the end of the world. I cried. Because I thought, ooh, they don't want me to become what I'm destined to become? Fuck you. So I was 19, and I flew to the US for the first time, and just to lay the groundwork for what was about to come, because that was only an excursion of 8 weeks, traveling the country from Kansas, Route 66, LA, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, and back, just to make sure that this is what I want.
Of course.
Flew back to Germany, had to join the army, but right after the army, I said, okay, that's it. I sold my car, I sold my drum set, and I was in LA, and I took acting lessons. So that's how it all started. But it gets worse. Then, after not even 3 years of studying acting and actually landing some roles, I came back to this funny country and they said, okay, so you're telling us that you went to acting classes in the United States. That's not valid here. You have to join a German acting school. I said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That was a long answer to a short question.
So you knew
But that's
from the
how it
very
all began.
beginning.
Hmm?
You knew from the very beginning that this is
Absolutely.
what you were wanting to do, and that's awesome because you didn't let that dream go, that childhood dream. You took it and you ran with it and you did what you want with it.
Pull the trigger.
You exactly. You
Yeah.
pulled the trigger. He said the thing.
I thought about it and I did it. And
Exactly.
I had to return to Germany, and then my career started. But all these years that followed were always, something was always simmering, and I thought, shit, I have to go back. And that happened in 2007. And I didn't talk about it. I did it. I pulled the trigger again. So
Yeah.
and then of course at some point I had to choose what will happen in the future, and since I never thought of leaving the US, I thought it might be better to apply for citizenship, which I did. Now I have dual citizenship. Doesn't matter right now in this world of ours, but at that point in time, for me, it was the most logical step, because I thought, what if I would have to be out of the States for more than 6 months with a green card and then try to come back, and then they would tell me that I overstayed and that they'll take my green card away. No. So I thought, this is, I have to be a citizen. Plus,
Yeah.
I never wanted to be, which was happening. So,
Yeah.
Sometimes you never
That's
plan
awesome.
for those things, but that is actually a huge step though to do the dual citizenship. That's actually
It
really
is.
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. So it says earlier you appeared on a huge number of TV episodes across Europe. What were those first years of grinding in television like?
so it was, there's going to be a point in time where I'm going to write all this down. So I'm going to have a novel of my life with the best of sections, and especially a section for the beginning. That is a great question. Nobody ever asked me before, because after I came back from LA, coming back to Germany, everything is small. People are small-minded. I mean, not small people, but small-minded. The streets are small. Everything is small. The mindsets are small. So what I did was I tried to get into as many auditions as possible. And then for some reason, something happened. Wait, I came back in September and then December. 3 months later, I landed my first series lead on a show that was one of the most popular French sitcoms at that time. Hélène et les garçons. Hélène and her brothers. So the German network bought the rights, but the French network said, okay, but there's one rule. You have to shoot in Paris, in our studios, and our scripts have to be translated 1-to-1. And the German network said, okay, let's do it. We'll do it. So what happened was, for some reason, I got the job. And then the next 3 months, it was from January until April, I spent time in Paris. I've never been to Paris. I never spoke French. The whole thing was in German, and we shot 8 to 10 hours a day. And at the end, we had 26 hours of complete trash. It lasted for only one season. And the problem with it was the fact that you cannot translate French jokes to German jokes 1-to-1. You have to somehow modulate them to make them work in another specific language. Otherwise, if they would have done that, it would have been a huge success. But that was how it all started. After that, it snowballed. I didn't have to audition. They just asked me, hey, do you have time? Would you be interested? What's your rate? And then for the next show, which went on for 2.5 years, I did 360 episodes. So that was from 0 to 200 miles an hour. I had to audition for that. They liked me, and I said yes, of course, because for me it was my dreams came true. Because I went to LA, did my acting stuff, came back. They shamed me for everything I've done because, oh my God, it's not valid, and you can't do shit because you should have done it in Germany. And then ending up on my second TV show. Wow. And that ended at some point, but 8 months later, the next show came, which at that point was the most expensive TV show in German history. And it happened at the same time Jack happened in the US. And those networks were actually talking to each other. And there was a plan to send one of their actors to us and one of our actors to them. I know that because I was friends with with one of the PR people, and later I found out by the guy himself, and he's a friend of mine, Blake Boyd. He lives in LA, and he told me he was on that show, and they actually talked about it, and we figured out that we would have met in 1999 instead of 2010. So,
oh boy,
yeah. But when we shot the pilot episode, they shot it in Texas, LA, Munich, and yeah, that was it. Texas, LA, and Munich, which was crazy. And my ass was sitting in a jet all the time for 2.5 years again. I was Tom Cruise for a while, so that was weird.
I bet all that traveling got really old real quick.
Yeah, sometimes I didn't know where the fuck I was, so that was.
Where am I at again? What time is it?
Happened to me. It was
so
weird. But I had the time of my life. So
you mentioned the dual citizenship. Do you feel like your approach to these roles differences are like different depending on the culture of the project, or is it the same across the board?
I would say it's never the same. Doesn't matter the board, if it's across or not. It's always different.
Okay, well, that's cool. Oh, I lost it. Where was I?
How about
Mars, you have dual citizenship as well, right?
No,
Didn't you have two?
no.
No.
No, I just have one. I have right to stay here in the UK
Okay.
for
Everything's falling apart.
forever, but I was thinking about it actually to apply a couple of years back, but now I'm thinking, I sod that, Nah, I don't think so.
It's too much work.
No, it's just this place is fucking bullshit.
No, you're not wrong.
For some reason,
I mean, it's still. The thing is that it is nowadays. It's difficult to think about it as a. How to put it? As a place we used to dream of when I was far younger. Nowadays, the standard of life, the UK versus Poland, is more for the Poland side of it. Poland always was very clean and beautiful and mega safe. This is the safest place in Europe at the moment.
Yep.
So, but there is still certain things that are still keep my country a bit behind the other countries in Europe. Though I don't think it's super bad or anything. I don't know, but certain standards are still, how to put it, not exactly how they should be. But if I would leave the UK, I would go. I don't think I would go back to Poland. My wife doesn't like it. I mean, my wife definitely doesn't want it. But I'm thinking Spain. Hey,
Spain would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a plan, me and Jim. Yeah.
But
Little
for
secret
that,
getaway in
specifically
Spain?
For that, specifically for that,
The two
if you
lovers
would have
here?
a Polish passport, that would make things easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because you wouldn't have to apply for a work permit.
Yes. So having the Polish passport is, it's cool. Actually, I have it here.
Go
So.
get it. Get two.
Gonna give out all of his information.
No, I recently joined an agency. I have another agent, a very cool one, and they sent me this form to fill out all the data, personal stuff. But so yeah, I had to give them for the legal side, for the legal point of view, I have to give them my passport details. Plus, all the measurements of my body ever existed. Seriously, it was
Jeez.
really like
Oh,
wrists, width of my hand without the thumb, length of my hand,
You what?
length of my the arms, legs.
That's crazy. Did you have to have your
Yeah.
wife sit there with like a measuring tape? Just be like,
yeah, that's exactly what happened. Because he's measuring like, simply everything, I'm like, what the hell? And then it turned out that it's for if I would land a role in front of the camera. So someone would have to
Gotcha.
create a suit or something, whatever,
Oh,
Anyway,
I was going to ask if that was a theatrical agency with all.
No. But they just opened, they creating a voiceover branch, so to speak.
Talking about Vox?
No.
They
I'm
never
talking
got back
about-
to you.
No, the thing is with VoiceFox, the thing is that VoiceFox doesn't accept people from outside.
Bitches.
She has humongous amount of applications, but also my agent focuses on people who live close to London, or at least where it would be easy for them to travel to London, for sessions. Yeah.
And actually, I was thinking, Jim, about the agency I just mentioned, and we're gonna have to talk about this slightly because you could apply to them for it. Yeah, but yeah, that's a topic for another, so to speak, meeting. Yeah.
All right.
Nimbus is having some technical
I was
difficulties.
gonna say, where did Nimbus go? He left us again.
His mic is not working at the moment, so he's trying to fix that.
Oh well.
Good, it's his turn to be gone when Mars is here.
Yeah, right. We'll just keep taking turns. Every time Mars shows up, one of us will disappear.
Electricity,
It's
charge.
Oh no, he broke the immersion.
Oh no.
So being a gamer focused podcast, streamer, gamer, right? We do a lot of the gaming side. Many gamers know you as Koenig from the Call of Duty franchise. So Modern Warfare 2 and 3. What was your initial reaction when you learned that you were going to be voicing that character?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
the answer.
There's another funny story to this, because when I was still in LA, I remember there was one specific studio on Sunset Boulevard where most of the voiceover auditions were, they took place there or in El Segundo or elsewhere. But I remember very vividly that I had to go there at least 10 times for Call of Duty auditions and never heard from them. So this specific audition was not in person because it was past COVID. And I remember I got the email from my agency, and of course I did the audition, and then I was still in LA, but then I moved to Atlanta, Noonan, because somebody told me, hey, go to Atlanta. The market is smaller. You'll be successful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I got a call back. And the email said, well, it seems like you got the job, and here's the call back. They want to meet you for a Zoom call. I said, yeah, okay, what job? And they said, well, the audition, blah, 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 with the code name, blah, blah, blah. So I still did not know it was Call of Duty. So there I was, just like now, with 3 guys from Activision. The developer of the game, the developer of the, or the writer or author of it, me, the character, and the head of production. And they asked me stupid questions about my military background, how tall I was, if I'm familiar with weapons, and if I was in Germany, and if I can pull off a believable German accent. And I said, yeah, I can dial it up and down just like you want. And then they wanted some examples. And after about 19 or 21 minutes, they said, thank you. Good day. I didn't hear from them for another 3 months. And then I got the email, you got the job. And I wrote back, what job? Because at that point in time, specifically from that agency, I got at least 10 to 15 auditions a week. And you do these auditions, you try the best you can, and you forget about it. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And so then I got an email from Activision, and I still didn't know it was for Call of Duty. And they asked me, are you in town next week? I said, what town? LA. Oh, no, I switched countries already. What are you talking about? So, and they said, oh, bummer. And my question was, would it be possible to go into any given compatible studio in Germany? And they said, well, there's no such studio in Germany with the capabilities that we need in order to record you. And I said, I knew it. So either way, I had to choose if I wanted to record it in LA or London, because that's what they told me the next day. Those were my only two options. And at that point, I thought, if I fly to LA, then they can only record 2 days. I would have to kill time or fly back and then come back. It's too much of a hassle. So I said, let's pick London. That's what I did. And I flew to London. And I remember the first session in the morning. Wait, hold on. It was a time where those Activision people had to get up in order to witness the session. And before I knew it was Call of Duty, they were saying, hey, congratulations, you got the job. And do you have any questions? And my first question was, what is my freedom in terms of interpretation of certain lines? Can I throw in some personal lines? Can I add stuff? Can I change stuff? Can I correct stuff? And they said, go ahead. If we don't like it, we throw it away, but you're free to do anything. And that is also one reason why people love König so much, because there's so much stuff in there that is unscripted. The little huffs and puffs and and the German and the English and the mixed up stuff.
That's it. Yeah.
And at some point, after like 10 minutes before the session began, the guy who created the character said, oh, and by the way, did anyone tell you that this was for Call of Duty? Because you're now in Call of Duty. I was speechless.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It blew my mind, because Call of Duty was one of my all-time favorites. I played it when it came out. I played the first version, the second version, the third. Then I lost interest and I didn't have time, but I was always interested in what's coming next. How does this game evolve in time with technology? And then having all these auditions and never get the part, and all of a sudden I end up as an operator in my favorite game. Fuck yeah. So
That's awesome.
I was very happy about it.
That is awesome.
And out of all the multiplayer characters from Call of Duty, König is the shit.
Koenig's great.
Yeah, really.
I'm blushing.
Really, because Gromsko, Schmronsko, and all that, Zemo and the other characters, König has got them everywhere, you know. So yeah, Jim.
Yeah. So we asked Damien this. So I don't know if we asked Mars this either. What was both your guys' favorite lines that you guys got to make up for your character?
I was just about to ask the same thing, because when we asked Damien, he's like, I got one of my favorite lines that I was able to change was when he was driving and running somebody over. They wanted to say something like, hey, get out of the way, or something like that. Yeah. And he changed it to beep, beep, motherfucker. And it was probably one of the best things I'd heard in a long time. So I'm curious, and I think we're all curious, is there any lines that you wanted to, or you were able to improv like that made the game, or that you were really proud of or really happy with?
Yeah, there are two in my case. But Jim, you first.
No, I'm waiting for you, because I still have to think about it.
So because one was cool, because it was the first line where I saw, I can swear, like, full time, So it was, Kurva, they hacking my intel. Just like, fuck, they hacking my intel. And the other one, which is far better and is fully in Polish, nie wywołuj wilka z lasu, which means let the sleeping dogs lie, so to speak.
awesome.
The translation word to word is completely different, yeah. Yeah, so it was cool, yeah. Yeah.
I have to say, I didn't have an entire line that I made up, but I was able to combine things in German and English. And I can't recall right now, but I have a list. And in that list, if I would look it up, I could point out 2 or 3 lines that were originally English, and I added a German word. But every other sound or effort before or after or within a line was added by me without the script because it just happened.
I think it's awesome to see to learn that you guys had as much freedom with those lines as you did, and you were able to improvise and change them and make them your own, because that really gives that character that extra layer of realism, that extra feel of actually being a person rather than just a video game character.
Yeah. Besides, let's be honest, it felt so cool. And one thing that all of a sudden you have a gear on your face to record everything you say, because we weren't standing in front of the mics. They put the mic on, there was the headset, so the headphones plus 2 tiny shotgun mics, yeah? So we could move and do whatever. The first time I saw it, I'm like, oh shit, this is so cool. I wouldn't have to be focusing on my, face placement or location towards the microphone. I'm like, fuck, such a freedom. But what I want to say here, never mind the mics, was the fact that, holy shit, all of a sudden, we indeed standing in front of the screen recording for Call of Duty. Call of fucking Duty. Not some fucking Dyna Blaster or shit, with all due respect. But all of a sudden, this is Call of Duty. And this is my own character. And the guy from Activision is here. And he's telling me, yeah, if you feel like it, just go for it. Whatever you think. Like, fuck. This is amazing. I'm the fucking boss here,
Right. But Mars, we both did not know what would come next. Because we did not know the impact of what we did in the long run. After the game came out with our voices.
Word up, man.
I thought the job is done. That's it. Some people will like it, some will hate it. Fuck it. But I never thought that people would go crazy.
Yeah.
Or ask me for autographs or cameos or that's the reason why Mars and I met.
Yeah.
And we met online, just like now, when Marvin invited me to his podcast. It was yours and Marvin's. And then during that podcast, Mars and I decided, okay, we have to make it happen. We have to pull the trigger. We're not talking about it. We're doing it. So it only took a couple of months. And then we met at the convention in London, which we did for 2 days or 3 days. Was it 2 days? 3 days. Holy shit.
Whoa, 3 days? Hold on a second. Was it, the beginning was on Friday or Saturday? I think Saturday. So it was 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And everything just happened because of Call of Duty. And that's why we're here now. And it's so awesome. It's, what can I say?
Really is
and
awesome.
man, we had time of our life.
I think it'd be just so cool to actually get to sit in on one of those sessions of you guys like recording all the lines and stuff like that. It would just be kind of cool from an outside perspective to watch it actually happen. And Mars, you sent us the video of you actually, doing some of the lines and stuff like that. And it was so cool to see because us normal people that play the games, we don't get to see that side of it.
Yeah.
Right.
We get
I
it from the
sometimes
game's point of view.
record stuff from studios if I can, obviously. Sometimes, I do it slickly. So then I wait until the project is out and, everyone knows about it. I can talk about it. Then I publish stuff. The same thing I did with, for example, Total War Pharaoh. By the way, that was the most intense set of sessions I've ever done so far. Jesus Christ Almighty. My God. I never screamed that much as during that shit. But I recorded myself and then I published it. And yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
While I was recording at the same studio as Muzz was recording, I always thought, shit, somebody should record this. Should I do it or shouldn't I? If I do this, they're going to hate me. If I don't do this, I'm going to hate myself. So, fuck. I don't have any recordings. I just have pictures of me and the guys on a break, but I don't have any recording sessions from the actual day in the studio, which is very sad.
It's okay.
Yeah,
People know,
Damien-
it's cool.
Damien told us they wouldn't allow him out there in LA to do it. Something about the phone would like cause interference with their systems or something like that.
And that's just a bullshit excuse.
Interference.
I'm just sitting here thinking, what do you mean? Mars sent us a whole entire video of him doing it.
That was fun, and it's awesome to be able to see that from our side because we are the gamers, right? We are the ones who get to play your characters, and we get the voice lines, and we get to listen to that side. But we don't get to see or feel or hear the emotion and what you guys actually put into the work that we enjoy. So it's awesome to see and hear your guys' point of view, and to really get to know the people behind the voice.
And for us, it's Jim, we feel the same. It's awesome that people took our characters to heart so much. It's amazing. Amazing.
I
One
never
of the
thought about people like that.
most amazing things that
Yes.
I ever was a part of.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's just crazy how much of a cult following that Call of Duty does have. That like everybody has a character that they love and that they play, and that you guys are, you are the face of certain people's vision of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
It blew my mind. It's unbelievable.
Did you guys ever like expect the reaction from the community to your characters, that they've gotten?
No.
Because both of your characters, Gromsko and Koenig, are very big, very popular names when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise. So did you guys ever like sit back and say, yeah, this character's going to be the one that everybody knows, the one that everybody talks about?
No, I would never think that. Obviously I was excited beyond any measure that I recorded the stuff.
Mhm.
And I have a video of myself after I finish and I'm leaving the studio. I can send it to you, but it's Jim's the episode today, so never mind. And I'm like, yeah, so I guess that's it.
It's
This is
our
gonna be
episode.
fucking great,
all of our episodes.
Yeah, but man, and then excitement, and then waiting for the whole thing to come out, and my friends at work just fucking, stepping in place like, what is it? And finally, I told you guys, when I told them, yeah, it's Call of Duty. Fuck yeah, let's fucking go. So
That's got to be probably one of the most hardest thing to do is just not say anything about it until it's actually like announced or released. That you're
yeah, I don't
able
have
to
a
say
problem
something
with that.
about it.
No.
He's like, I'm good at keeping secrets. I'm good at keeping secrets.
Easy.
I think for me, that'd be one of those things like I want to tell somebody. I'm sure you can tell your spouse or whatever, but it's just kind of like one of those things like people who ask you, oh, what'd you do? Can't say anything about it, but I know probably deep down you're like, I want to tell you, but I can't.
Right.
But people used to shot names of the game, like, is it something? I'm like, it's not your head.
Nope.
I'm like,
Just no.
I don't know.
No, because that still will get you.
Yeah.
Can't tell you.
Where about?
Yeah, it's
jeez.
it's all very, very crazy, and the entire following was so unexpected.
Yeah, tell them, Jim, about the London Game Con. What was going on there? Because
Oh my God. Mars and I had one table with two banners, one for Mars, one for me. People were coming from all over the country to come see us, sometimes entire families, mom, dad, daughter, son, they all wanted autographs and pictures. Some were crying, some were shaking. And
oh
it
yeah, I
was-
remember that girl.
Oh God. It was sometimes very, very sad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and especially in those moments, you have to take responsibility because, and Mars and I talked about that for a long time, because if you play Call of Duty, you can play it for months and you still didn't hear all these lines. And the attachment to your favorite character is different than watching a movie for 2.5 hours. You have a certain amount of lines. You might watch it again. But with Call of Duty, it's your world. You're immersed. And if you're playing with your character, it's all you hear, sometimes 6, 8, 10 hours a day for a month. So Mars' voice, my voice, all the other voices are part of the life of the person who's immersed within that game. And if the game is everything you have, your attachment to that character has a certain level of emotional and psychological depth. So, and that was one thing that Mars and I did not anticipate, think about. Both of us did not waste a second thinking about what would happen with anyone who would say, oh, Dronsko, I love this guy. He's awesome. Or Koenig, my favorite character. We didn't know. So if someone approaches you or a family approaches you and tells you, Mars or me, that you're the favorite character of their son or their daughter, and that nothing could come between the character and their kid, then if you could say something positive because those kids want to take their own lives, and then you say something as the character to that kid, and the parent gives you a call and is crying and says something like, you saved my kid's life because you were so motivating for my kid to go on and not think about harming themselves. And if that happens more than 24 times, then you know what kind of impact your performance had or has. So we experienced that when we did the convention, and we experienced it almost not on a daily basis, Mars, but once in a while, you and I, we get messages from people who are very desperate and in need of human contact. And if they have nothing else but a game and a character, then it's your responsibility to live up to their dreams.
Oh yeah,
make them feel good again.
I'll send you pictures, guys, because I made a lot of pictures. Yeah, during that convention, and especially with that girl, that was just, she absolutely lost it when she met Jim.
I think that's one of the things that people don't really think about when they're sitting behind their computer or their console and they're playing these games, that there are people out there that this is what they have. This is their escape. This is their way to put behind them the troubles and the problems that they faced in that day or their past. And this is how they're moving forward. And it is because of you guys. It is because you guys are creating these characters that people can connect to on an emotional level and use it as their escape.
Yeah.
I think we talked about in a very early episode before Nimbus came along about, like, you know, we do sometimes use games as an escape for reality because sometimes the world is just, it's too much. You just need
Sometimes,
that, like, that break.
put it bluntly, the world sucks sometimes, right?
We're living in a shithole.
Yeah, for sure. And it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, us gamers, big time, like we are, all three of us play games basically every day. We do, like, we use it as our escape. We use it as our way to relax for the day, our way to wind down and just let go of the stuff that we had to do that day. And it's just a great time, and we get to experience it by playing your guys' characters. We get to do it, and we just use that as our foothold on reality. It helps us
with, like,
ground ourselves.
With Call of Duty's Warzone being free to everybody to play, so the outreach of that game is so much more than a game that's usually behind a paywall. So, like, your characters are being seen by not just, like, a select, you know, people that bought the game. They're being seen by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the impact is a lot bigger than most people would realize.
And you guys get to see that personally, especially when you go to cons, like you just said. Like, you get to see the impact and how deep it actually goes.
Yeah. So certain situations were just it was just mind blowing. So we would never think that the impact we did on certain people's realities was so heavy. Gosh, a lot of people just came in to say hi, you know, like because they wanted just to. Some people were just too shy to say anything. Obviously, apart from those very emotional situations that girl I mentioned, her parents said that this is the only thing that keeps her sane because she couldn't leave home at all.
Oh, wow.
Because of certain reasons, you know. And you're sitting there. I'm standing there. She's crying on Jim's shoulder. I'm thinking, like, what? I didn't. I mentioned that during our previous interview that I didn't know what to say. Like, and I asked the dad, like, what's going on here? And she told me everything. I'm like, fuck.
But
just a side note here. Yeah,
we had so much fun. Yep.
It sounds like the thing that you guys got going on is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
I couldn't imagine just some of the stuff that you guys have had to deal with or had to put up with, but overall it sounds like you guys have a blast.
Oh man.
Hey, right Jim? Now.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not only awesome for you guys, but it's definitely awesome for us to have you guys on.
Huge. This is huge. Yeah. We love it.
We're just gamers. So, like, getting to talk to some of the people that we play as.
We're cool guys.
You know?
We're all cool guys. That's what we are.
Yeah. We do it.
Clip it. I'm going to send it to the people who said I wasn't cool.
Yeah, exactly.
They should go fuck themselves.
So
since
since
cool.
you're no, except for Stubbins, he's not. So since you're part of the Call of Duty universe, and speaking of gamers, are you a gamer yourself? Or you said you were, but are you still, like, do you still get into the games, like, when you have some downtime and free time?
Lars, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
We already knows Mars doesn't.
Oh,
he told us he doesn't.
Well, okay. One thing, and I think Mars, maybe you mentioned that before. I think, well, we both know that none of the Call of Duty actors were approached by the production company or the game company in a way that was any kind of appreciative. So let's say, okay, you did the voice for that character. Here's the game. Or thank you. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
That was a little bit sad. As I mentioned as I mentioned earlier, I used to play Call of Duty for a while, and then I stopped, and I wanted to do it again, but then life happened, and moving from country to country, and then I'm super busy every day, believe it or not, with first of all, recording auditions, because I still have 5 voiceover agencies stateside. I don't have any theatrical voiceover agency here, and I stopped looking because it doesn't happen. And then I have a Spanish author who is a complete fucking genius. And I don't get this guy because he seems like to be able to shit novels on a daily basis. And I happen to be the German voice of now the second novel, which is based on the first one. And it took me from 2022 until now. And now I'm in the middle of the spin-off. And I'm thinking, how fucking creative can you be? So that's what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm super busy for the next couple of years. But I also hope to be able to act in front of the camera for international co-productions, because they will happen, because you can still shoot cheaper outside the US because the movie industry is broken as we know it. Yeah. So that is the reason why I'm not playing the game right now.
Understandable.
But
Yeah.
what I can play right now is I have my MetaQuest 2, and there's a specific game that I play on a regular basis, at least twice or 3 times a week for an hour or 2, which is called Death Unchained. So you're a guy that has to face ghosts and demons and knights, either with a crossbow or with a longbow. And it's a super highly immersive, stressful sometimes game. And then there's another one, Pistol Whip. I don't know if you heard about it. Old school pixelated game, which is a full body workout, basically. So if I'm gaming, I do it with my MetaQuest 3. I'm sorry, I upgraded. So I don't have a PlayStation, but at some point I will buy one, and I will buy the game, and I will play my character because I want to.
So
When
you're a
you do, we'll
PlayStation
have-
guy.
I think
When you
so.
do, we'll have to have you on. We'll play some rounds with you.
Yeah, for sure. Damien joined us just a couple weeks ago. He played some Warzone with us, which was awesome. So I got a really cool clip of him telling one of my other buddies to shut the fuck up. So it was great.
Nice.
And so now there's a command in the stream where you put, I think it's just shut up.
It's just
And
shut
it-
up, and you did
and
just
it'll-
tell him.
Hey,
Yeah,
just the
it
whole
plays that
entire
voice
rant.
clip, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Did you say it in a nice way?
No, and it was
No.
great. I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Damien was fun to play with.
Yeah. But I think it would take a couple of days to get into it, into the whole gameplay and the
Oh, we're terrible at
Goals.
playing games, so it's fine.
Well, even now, I mean, if you haven't played anything in like that in such a long time, yeah, the environment has changed. So yeah, I get it. It would take quite a minute to get used to it again, because it's nothing like it used to be. Like the old school Call of Duty games and the multiplayer Black Ops 2 era, it's nothing like that anymore.
right. I know that.
Oh.
So that's why I don't want to be slaughtered in the first 2 minutes. So
Right. You will probably.
it's going to happen at some point. I know that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I want to. Because it is still, I mean, I fucking love it. Even though I did not play the current version with myself. But that, it would be a very weird experience.
Yeah. What was it? So you said you had like a MetaQuest. There's someone who has modded one of the games on there where you can play Nazi zombies from the Call of Duty series on the Quest, and I saw it, and it's stressful as can be.
I have to look into that. Literally.
I'll definitely.
Call of Duty on the Quest. Okay.
There's someone.
I don't know that I could do VR.
So I've seen
Call of
someone
Duty.
who's gotten like one of those really expensive VR sets where they have like the Omni tracks and like the haptic vest where they feel the bullets hitting them, and they have the headset. And I saw someone actually modded their game because it's not supposed to be able to play it, but they were able to play the new like called Warzone on that, and they were running through the battlefield.
Unbelievable. If they officially port the game to that platform, I'm not going to buy a PlayStation, of course, but then I think I would be really good.
I think it would go over very well, but it's definitely going to have to be a different type of situation because I think they have a game on there. Is it Player One? It's not Ready Player One. It's a different one.
It's a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie. But there is a VR game where it's like a battle royale. Because I have a Quest 2, and I played it a couple times. It was difficult because you actually had to like climb over the blocks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And there's people that get super sweaty on that.
Oh well, I mean that's any game.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So. Speaking of video games, is there any voice? If you could voice any voice in any franchise, what would your dream game franchise be, or what would your like dream voice like? Want to be? What would you want to do?
I think I would stick to this universe and be another character, maybe with another voice.
Campaign, eh?
Because I can't think of any other game where I think, oh shit, that voice should have been mine.
It would be great if we could be in the campaign of Call of Duty. At some point.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
But have you heard about the plans of a live action movie about that?
I was just getting ready to ask about that. Yeah, I was going to ask if you had heard about it.
I don't want to talk about this. Jesus Christ.
I was just going to say, if you'd heard about it, if they were to reach out to you saying, do you want to play your character, would you do it?
Oh, yeah.
They
like in a heartbeat, right?
The
Right,
production list. Somebody. So, I have no clue.
I think it would be amazing.
They're not playing my character right. Let me step in and do it. Just
right?
Yeah.
Or even to
what,
have
guys?
like a hand in the character.
What I find, I understand certain ways of Hollywood, but gosh, prize. Barry Sloan should be prize. He's a prize.
Yeah.
You know, he's the prize. I mean, obviously there were the previous guys, but come on, he's a great fucking actor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? I know what's going on here because of the popularity of the other gentleman, obviously.
Yeah.
But gosh,
But there's a reason why
I'm afraid
those
for this
voice
movie.
actors are voicing the voices, and they should be able to act in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be a smart move.
I mean,
I'm terrified for this
they would
movie to
never
come
make
out.
us characters of the actual, movie because no one knows us as much as
But they
the
could.
Hollywood actors,
But
They could. This could be.
I know.
You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, and I don't.
And it should be.
Really. I don't give a shit about popularity.
I personally think that they should take the voice actors and make those the characters because the gaming community knows that voice. If they bring in somebody, more mainstream and the voice is completely wrong.
Yeah, there's going to be a dissonance here. Like,
Then we
it's not
would
gonna
still
fly for
have to
certain
voice
people,
the characters.
For example, and this is a movie we talked about. I don't know that we talked about it, but I personally have talked about it on stream, and I've torn it apart because it made me angry. The Borderlands movie that came out.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible because they did not stay true to the storyline, for one, of Borderlands, and the people that they got to play these characters did not fit the characters we know and love that we grew up with. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Jack Black is a fantastic actor, but he is not Claptrap.
No.
You know, I mean, it's just, and that's the problem with the video game or these movie adaptations of video games is they try to go too mainstream with the popular characters and the popular actors, and they pull away from what the community and these people that have grew up with these games know and love.
But you're seeing things whereas people who grew up being the gamers are now becoming those directors and stuff like that. So you're seeing stuff like how Markiplier did Iron Lung. I still want to see that. Apparently,
power to this guy. Seriously.
He's
well done.
He funded the whole thing by himself, and it's one of the top movies right now.
He did a great job. I haven't seen it yet, but he did. From what I hear, it's amazing.
Yeah,
movie.
my friend Elsie Lovelock is from the same agency. She is an unbelievable voice actress, like crazy good. She's everywhere, and she does voice of the monster in that movie, and the voice of the ship. So yeah, and the guy he just broke the system, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, he's completely he's taken from what everyone knows is what happens, and he's like, no, I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna go completely on my own and do this thing that nobody's heard of, and he killed it.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Yeah,
he pulled the
trigger. He pulled the trigger. That's right.
That's right.
I think that's the only way to face life.
It is.
In whatever you do, in whatever you inspire to be.
Yeah, you know it very well, Jim, because you're the guy who is so. You're such an inspiration to so many people because you went up the hill against all odds. People told you that it's never going to work. Boom, I'm fucking doing it. Yeah. And actually, I wanted to mention this fact. What's also great about becoming someone who you always wanted to be. Not that as a kid you understand who you want to be, because people want to be engineers and doctors and, guys who take out the trash and so on, and life obviously, changes this thing. But in my case, and similarly to Jim, we always wanted to be actors / voice actors, and boom, I did it. And what I want to say here, so many people when I was younger used to bully me because I was so polite, and I was, I used to use language nicely. I wouldn't do some stupid shit, and I was keeping to myself, and I was very approachable, and I was very cheery. But I was very thin, so obviously some dickheads used to bully me because of that. And nowadays, which is so fucking great, I go to Poland, I go through my town, and people in my town know what I did, and people are like,
payback is a bitch.
Man. Yeah, payback is a bitch. And I'm looking at those, and I, the guy who bullied me the most. I kicked his teeth out at some point. But nowadays I'm on, I put my stuff on social media and I'm thinking, yeah, bitches. What up,
See what I've accomplished now? You've done nothing.
Yeah.
That's it. Mars and I talked about that earlier, off screen, I would say. And I had similar situations going on with the bullies all the time. But the problem was I always bullied back. So I never let anything stand.
Nice.
That wasn't me. I was always fighting back. I
run a podcast with my two biggest bullies.
Where?
I run a podcast. I run a podcast with my two biggest bullies. It's fine.
Who's that? What?
You know what, guys? Let me tell you this short story. So at some point I started training full contact karate, and at some point I was already into it for a year, 2 years. And one of the guys who used to bully me in my hood joined the club. He wanted to train too, and he didn't know that I'm there. And I saw him. He saw me, and he still was like, "So what? Like, and I approached my Shiha and I said, Sensei, so this guy, blah, 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 blah. He goes like, we still want to fuck him off. I said, yeah. So we did the training and my sensei, he run double the warm up and double everything. So the guy was almost puking after 15 minutes of everything after everything started. And I'm like, yeah, bitch. Stand up. I was like, just let me just finish him. And at some point after everything, all the technical stuff, fights. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up now. And it was so nice because the guy was nearly crying at some point. Yeah, pussy. So to all the people who watch this episode, bullies are doing shitty stuff to you because they are shitty people running a shitty lives and they absolutely hate themselves and everything about it. And those people are going to be gone at some point, and you guys are going to be doing some cool stuff with your lives. So yeah, go for whatever you want to achieve. Bullies are just fucking temporary obstacle. Pieces of shit. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I love that. I do love that. Have you two ever worked together outside of the game? Like, you ever had anything going that the two of you were able to work on together, or is it something that's like...
that would be a future goal.
Yeah, right? You'd love to be able to do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Holy shit, that will be... I'm back. That will be.
Yeah.
There you go.
It'll happen at some point.
Speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence.
Manifest destiny is what they say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you could speak directly to the fans and give them just one lesson that you've gotten from your journey or acting and voice acting, what do you think it would be?
Ours?
Jim, you first.
Are you talking about someone who thinks about the same career choices in general?
I would say just in general, when it comes to life, doing the things you want to do, just in general, what was one piece of advice you'd give to your fans?
It's the advice I give to anyone who is in need of advice. And I would say there's always a solution. It's never as desperate as you think, and you are much stronger than you think you are. You can endure anything, and there's always going to be a tomorrow. And the only thing you have to think of is to keep your focus on your goal. If you don't have a goal, set a goal. If you want a successful life, start with yourself and do the hard things so life gets easier. And what I mean by that is, first of all, treat your body well. You only have one body. Don't put stuff in your lungs that don't belong there. Don't eat stuff that is not meant for human consumption. Train hard. It's true. Train hard. Learn self-defense. I did Shaolin Kung Fu. Mars did karate. And the most important thing, never, ever fucking give up. No matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Do your thing and your thing only. So that's my advice.
Top that, Mars.
Top that.
Well, I'm just gonna add to it because my approach is the same. I always say you have to, at some point, you're gonna have to make friends with pain and struggle, because pain just looks bad. If you have a chat with it, at some point it gets easy, You have to face challenges willingly because that's what makes you strong and resilient, you know, and don't listen to anyone. Take advice from people who are much, much older than you. Shall you want to take advice from anyone? And set a goal, like Jim said. Set a goal and fucking go for it. And stay focused and do whatever needs to be done to achieve it, because your subconscious mind takes all the info and of your focus and works on it. And also never, ever speak bad about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Disregard yourself. Even in jokes, even jokingly, never do that. Again, your subconscious mind takes all the information that you give it, and it makes a brew when you're asleep, and it tries to do everything it can, and it's mega powerful to make it physical, so to speak. So if you think shit about yourself, things are gonna go bad at some point. So don't do that. Yeah.
What are you making a
Work on
face
yourself.
for, Stubbins?
Work on yourself.
You know, no
Do
reason.
the shit that you need to do. Don't be afraid. Struggle, because it makes you stronger, and everything, like Jim said, is going to get easier. Yeah, and fuck social media.
top that.
People are so fucking fake.
Yeah.
And there is 1% on social media. 1% of people are real and truly good. Rest of the people are those who just fucking fake everything, and it's all pretended. You know, like all those people that, oh yeah, I wake up at 7 o'clock and I do blah 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 blah. Who the fucking keeps the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. This is all bullshit. Yeah, never compare yourself to stuff from social media, because it's bullshit.
Yeah. All the things that Mars
Never.
said, I want to add, and then
Yeah.
add it again, because that is so much more important. Yes, never compare yourself to anyone, and don't listen to any social media bullshit, because the real life is what it's all about.
Yeah, and also I'm going to add very quickly, those are Jim's words. Those what Jim said, and I even
up.
put it on my Instagram, I think. And it's beautiful stuff. Jim, what you said. Always surround yourself with people who want to see you win.
Yeah, that's what I said. I
With
know.
people who have the character to protect your name in the room that you're not in.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
Then you have the right
things.
people around yourself.
Right.
Do. Those are Jim's words, not mine.
I forgot to mention that. So, yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. And then you know who your true friends are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are some great words to live by for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
You guys have anything else you want to add?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
yeah,
guys
man.
for inviting me and surprising me with Mars. You
Oh
made
yeah,
me-
100%. We thought it would be great. We thought it was going to be great, and it was. And Mars, thank you for
Coming back.
aiding us in this and coming back and hanging out with us and talking to
Anytime,
Jim.
Jim.
We're
Anytime,
going to
guys.
have a word. Mars and
Jim, thank you so much for coming out and hanging
Yes.
out with us and giving us your story and talking
Anytime.
to us and answering our silly questions. It was a great time. I think this is going to be another banger of an episode.
Oh yeah.
And I'll let you guys, Nimbus, maybe you can close it out since you've said 2 words this entire
I've had
podcast.
issues the entire time.
So we'll let you close it out so that people can actually hear your beautiful voice.
Yeah, something like that. We really appreciate you guys, both Mars and Jim, for stopping by. Appreciate those that follow us, listen to us, use us for bad gaming advice. Check us out on all of our social medias, even though social media is fake, but we still use it because we want to get our names out there, get our voices, kind of let people know. So we're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. I mean, you name it, we're probably hanging out somewhere in there.
Okay, but
Yes.
since it only says Nimbus
Mhm.
and Mr. Stubbins, which is a cool fucking name and visual.
It's because I have corgis.
of course, too. are you using the usernames across the board?
I am.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's,
Because otherwise, I wouldn't be able to find you. So just add me on every platform you're on.
Sure.
Yeah, we use a lot of it through our pull the trigger as well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the I guess the only last thing that I have to ask, is there anything that either one of you guys want to plug or get out there so people know where to find you, where to get, information about you guys, or anything you have that's coming out that you could talk about? Stuff like that.
Jim?
There's one thing I can think of right now. I haven't been on TikTok for the longest time in terms of being live, but I was so-called forced to be on TikTok for a live signing session for Streamly on the 20th, I guess, at 6 p.m. So, oh shit. I think you would have to edit that out, that I was forced to it.
I got you. Don't worry.
Nimbus cut that out.
Nimbus is our editor, so he's got you. Make a note of that so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Damn it. Fuck. Yeah, but so I'm going to be on TikTok on the 20th for a live signing session, and I'm looking forward to it. And otherwise, yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Not so much on Facebook. Facebook is completely abandoned by me.
Yeah.
So TikTok and
I don't
Instagram
use
are
it
the
very much
only
either.
platforms I'm actually somewhat active. Well,
Awesome.
yeah.
We'll grab your links and make sure that they're put in the description, and
Yeah.
that way people can get a hold of you, find you.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode. And thanks again for having me. Thanks, Mars, for showing up.
Anytime. Yeah. It was awesome.
Well,
All right, guys, this has been a great episode. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.